This is an interesting
Nickel
one, man.
Boys.
Nickel Boy.
Nickel Boy. Come here.
Oh, based on a book.
It is based on a
Based
book.
on a book.
Two
Carlos, you seem the one
nominations.
that like it the most. You want to intro it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. This is Nickel Boys, directed by Ramel Ross.
Damn.
Ramel Ross is a very
With a little bit of.
no. You know what? Look, I
by
saw the directors
Ramel Ross.
roundtable, and good for him, man. He got a lot of confidence, yo. Like he comes from documentary storytelling, and he sits there with Ridley Scott and Denis Villeneuve, and like being like, "Yo, I deserve to be at this fucking table."
His
Type of
nuts
shit.
are
So
just
he
out.
comes from a documentary background?
Yeah.
So then when you could. Okay. I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
you
why
see that,
with the
right? You see
POV.
that.
Yeah.
This film stars Ethan Harris, Brandon Wilson, Anjanae Elise Taylor, who I thought did phenomenal.
Yes.
She did phenomenal.
She
That's
did
the mom, right?
best. Obviously,
Yeah,
the
the
two guys
mom.
for sure, but
And then
The mom, yeah.
two nominations out the gate for Best Picture and Best Adapted Screenplay. I think adapted is
I
warranted.
would give this one a strong run for its money on adapted.
Yeah.
Because,
which was the other ones?
That's it.
No, there was another adapted screenplay.
no, what's nominated
which
for
other
adapted this year?
nods? I
Give
mean,
me 1 second.
Complete Unknown probably.
Wicked, probably.
Wicked.
Come on.
Good point, maybe.
I think those are better than this one. I mean, I love what
Yeah.
you're trying to do.
Adapted
man.
screenplay
Best adapted.
is A Complete Unknown,
Yeah,
Conclave,
see?
Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
Sing
Emilia
Sing.
Bettis? There's source material from Emilia Bettis? I didn't
believe
realize
so.
that. Wow.
I had no idea.
It's bullshit.
Let me. While you guys.
Conclave?
But for this one, I mean, I think
I don't know what
There's-
to rate
No.
What?
Stop right there. No.
this. Stop it.
Put your hand out.
It's from a chapter of a novel called Ecote. It's a French novel.
Like,
Okay. No, but what we fell in love with, let's face it, was the format.
Yeah.
How this story was told. It was not the story itself.
From one eyes and then the other eyes?
Wait, what'd you think I was gonna say? I didn't even get to finish.
Well, because we're talking about screenplay, so I figured you're going into like the originality.
Wait,
of-
what's
no,
the
no,
format?
no. What? No, wait. Hey,
Yeah, my
hold
bad.
on.
He's here to offer
Let
a
me have an-
cinematography perspective.
Figure it out. What happened?
No, what I was gonna say is that damn, you made me lose my thought. No,
Brain fart.
I was really impressed. We
like
we
a brain
thought that
tweet.
this was going to become a much more political film because of the subject matter. Again, we're being good about this episode. This revolves around the story of these two kids who basically they go into what, a juvenile?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. They get in
a
trouble with the
reform
law.
They go to.
Yeah, reform. It's a
reform
reformatory.
school.
It's
They're
a
reform
reformatory.
school.
unjustly.
Well, at least one of them.
Yeah. Well, one of them, the one that we follow at the very beginning. I forgot what his name is. But at the very
It's me,
beginning,
kid.
yeah, he
Elwood.
gets
Elwood.
in trouble.
Elwood.
Elwood.
He gets in
which
trouble
is
with the law.
super important. The name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elwood gets in trouble with the law unjustly. That basically, while he's walking,
He
this kid-
hitchhikes.
yeah, he hitchhikes.
Going to
but
college.
He's going to college. He has his whole life ahead of him. Gets into a car with somebody who basically stole it, and then because of that, he is considered a criminal. He goes to this reform school,
Happens a lot.
and you instantly see that at these reform schools, there's a big difference between the white delinquents and the black delinquents, and also the one Mexican delinquent, which the
Yeah, on
school,
the football scene?
yeah, where they're like,
just
oh,
like,
we don't
yeah,
know, we
you're
don't know
not
where to
white,
put
dude.
you, like.
It's like the donkey with the horses. You just hang out with these guys,
Yeah,
I guess.
it's
You're
kind of
close
like
enough.
like on a good day, you get to hang out with the white kids. On a bad day, go enjoy it with the black kids who
Yeah.
have to like sleep on these broken benches.
No, it's a really good story, and you know what? I love the utilization of the time jumps. This did time jumps well. I thought so, and again, I think we just fell in love with the format. It's relatively experimental. There's a lot of POV used perfectly.
Yeah.
I wasn't liking it at the beginning, but it grew on
Yeah,
me.
it took
You get
it
used
took
to
me
it.
about half
For
an hour.
sure.
Half an hour? Oh, it took me 10 minutes. I mean,
After the
'cause-
beginning montage, like
Yeah.
once we went to the nickel camp or Camp Nickel. Once we were there, I felt like I was able to sink into it, especially when
Yeah.
we were switching perspectives.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what throws you off at
That
first.
was-
It's like,
that
oh,
was
we're
really
not,
cool.
Yeah.
we're not hardcore Henrying this shit. Like we do change perspective.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's really great. But more importantly, in my opinion, because at first you think it's going to be gimmicky, but the POV thing wasn't even what was like getting my attention. It was the fact that we time jump and we don't see this guy's face for a good chunk of it, for most
Yeah.
of it.
Until you hop into the other guy's
Until
beard.
you
Yeah.
hop into the other, and then
We
you end up
only-
from the
realizing
other
it's fucking
perspective.
David Diggs, which is the most awesome thing in the fucking world. If you don't know David Diggs, he's an amazing actor. He was Thomas Jefferson in Hamilton, for instance, and Lafayette in Hamilton, and he also was in is it Train Spotting or not Train Spotting? The show,
Which one?
I forgot the name, but It was a film, and then they turned it into a series, and he's the lead. He was also in Bong Joon-ho's Snowpiercer, by the way.
Oh shit!
In the series.
Great
Right.
film, underrated film.
No, not the film, the series, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen the series.
But yeah, David Diggs is an amazing actor, also very black rights activist, very political dude, hangs out with Lin-Manuel Miranda because of Hamilton and shit. Produces. Who?
Who did he play?
In what?
In Nickel Boys.
He plays the future. Him.
Yeah, the older-
He plays the
Oh,
right,
the
like
future.
the dreads and shit, and like the bar scenes are super impressive because of that. And you don't see this dude. Like again, you don't see this dude, and I think it's using time jumps extremely effectively. You end up realizing halfway through that he's investigating. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck did I just go through? What the fuck was this place?
No,
and then
and also-
That's what
bodies
blew
are
my
being
mind,
discovered,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
great format. Great format.
I think, and that's the interesting balance is that for a while it felt like, oh, is it going to take a real big political side? Which there's nothing wrong with a film that wants to get political.
No.
I don't think there's anything wrong with a film that says I am making art for the sake of conversation that's going to progress society.
Yeah.
And I think this still has that wind of political storytelling to
Right.
it. But I think those films are nothing without a story where people can genuinely connect to and genuinely feel what's going on. And this perspective and cinematography, this first person point of view, and also the way that they tell the story, and you feel the intimacy in the conversations, and you're able to play both sides. Like I love when we see Elwood, and I keep blanking on the other guy's name, but when you see the two of them having Elwood and Turner, when they're having their conversation, and at first when we switch perspectives, we're replaying a moment, but during those conversations, we're on both of their sides, and we're on their sides when they're either listening or the sides when they're yelling at us, and we have to listen to the tensions, and that was a beautiful balance.
Hot take.
Medium warm take.
Medium warm,
Yeah,
medium warm latte take. I think this was snubbed from best directing, best cinematography, and best editing.
Not best cinematography.
No, yes, dude.
I think best directing because the director had the balls to tell it through the point of
It's
view.
the balls, but
But
not,
it wasn't just about having the balls. Again, the magic trick I think this thing is doing, which is done effectively through the cinematography, editing, and directing, is I thought these guys were going to end up being gay. Like they were going to fall in love with each other. That was
I
the
left
magic
a little.
trick.
I left a little.
That
gay
That was
after
the
watching
magic
it.
trick. The
Yeah.
magic trick is I'm going to make you feel like
Yeah.
how intimate these two individuals really are.
Exactly.
Only to show you that they're really just identifying with each other, so much so that to honor his late friend, he's going to take his name. That's all sorts of intimacy that, again, the magic trick is like, no, it's not about two gay black boys. It's about two black boys who went through something really rough that they just identify with each other now. You can't do that without the use of cinematography in this.
Trauma
The use
bonding.
of POV, that is cinematography. You use that very effectively. I do think it got snubbed for those three categories.
Wait, did we give our ratings?
Yeah, I was
that's
about.
a good
I was
point.
thinking
Oh,
too.
Damn, sorry.
Come
Come on, man. You've been.
Carlos,
I'll
you
put this
start.
out of 9. I'm very comfortable out of 9 with this. I thought it was one of the underdogs this year.
8.8.
8.8.
I don't think it was an underdog. I don't think it was a risk, but
You don't think it was a dog?
I don't think it was an underdog. I'll give it an 8.5. I liked it. Some gripes with it.
Nunez. The big N. Wait,
7.8.
sorry.
7.8.
Wow.
I'm with you.
I'm so sorry.
The big end.
Yeah, Nunez. That's what the N stands for. Nunez.
8.6.
Bad timing.
Yeah, I'll just
Nickel
toss this out. I'll
boys.
just toss this out there. We talk a lot about
Nickel
what
boys.
films, what cinema is supposed to be exploring, and how it's supposed to be exploring it, and how much risk it's supposed to be taking within certain things. But we're also celebrating Brady Corbet, Brady Corbet, and him being relatively new director. And this is this dude's first narrative thing out. That's
Wow.
fucking brave.
That is.
It's
That
mad
is
brave and mad effective. And then granted, he has documentary experience, but it's fucking brave, dude. As a director, I
also
admire
think,
that a ton.
There's a beautiful marriage with documentary in this film where,
Oh, yeah.
a documentary is meant to bring you into a world and bring that story to life. But in a lot of ways, when you watch documentaries, especially like Cinema Verite, it's meant to make you a part of that
in the world.
environment. You live there. And I think that incorporation into a first person perspective, it's such a beautiful marriage because
It's a cinema verite and narrative storytelling these days is a dirty word. because people think it's so classe, it's so old, and it's an old format, and that's not fair, man. Like cinema verite created a lot of what you know and appreciate now. You just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't realize it.
Yeah, the whole idea of like why we enjoy handheld shots so much, or why there's a need for them in your story sometime. It comes from the cinema verite, the documentary world, and to say that style can be matured into the first person perspective is so interesting.
Yeah, that it's passe, that it doesn't deserve a slot in modern storytelling. Of course it does. It definitely does. And Ramel Ross did extremely well. Again, like, for his first narrative thing out, especially terrific job. I applaud that, man. Terrific.
That is pretty fascinating. I guess the reason why I gave it like a lower score, the way that I see this movie is kind of like Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. You know, it's fascinating. It does innovate it for the time.
Yeah.
But did it deserve the Oscar that year? Probably not. You know,
Breathless.
What? I believe.
Oh man,
because it innovates the art, yes, entirely. But the
Yeah.
Oscars are a celebration of the art enhanced plus the innovation into
I
it.
think that's where I was arguing about cinematography, is that I've seen this style before, and I've seen
But
it. We can't go backwards.
We
I
can't.
agree.
But we can take forms that work and use them with intention and celebrate that.
Yeah.
It's not just about creating new forms of telling a story. It really isn't.
We always
A
talk about
perfect-
moving forward the art form.
Moving forward the art form within reason,
point of
not
this
just,
podcast.
hey, I'm going to explore the 10 Oscar-nominated films, and if they don't do something new, I'm going to bash on them. No, they have to use techniques and enhance them. This used an old technique and enhanced it.
That's
But
exactly
you
what
can
I'm
see
getting.
things like Hardcore Henry that are doing and
Exactly. This didn't do that. This took that technique and enhanced it. This took a
I could
cinema
say
verite.
Hardcore Henry probably enhanced
Yes.
it more.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, but it didn't. It made it a gimmick. This didn't make this a gimmick.
No.
We
but
all
it-
agree
but
that
it-
it doesn't make it a gimmick.
The difference between a film like this and Moonlight, which did win Best Picture, which was a movie that was placed up against La La Land. La La Land did film perfect. It did film exactly how you would want film to be done. Moonlight, on the other hand, did film innovatively and effectively. This film does it innovatively, but effectively, it's almost like watching and I'm a massive fan of Michael Haneke, the German director, but it's like watching one of his films. It's very niche. It's very, the POV perspective is badass. It's dope, but
this is one of the first times, at least I feel, that it's using it with so much intentionality that it's not being a gimmick. And it's very, very easy to fall into a gimmicky place with POV. Because of films like Hardcore Henry.
that's another thing that you got to ask yourself is if any of the other
been done.
films completely decided to stick to the sole POV like Nickel Boys does, would it have the same effect? And the answer is most likely.
I'll answer your question with another question. If you saw somebody like Barry Jenkins direct this film as his fourth motion picture, whatever he's on now, you guys would say, whoa, he did something innovative. And this guy did it on his first film.
But
out.
you know what?
Got a point.
There. Okay,
Got a
another
point.
nomination for cinematography.
If
is,
Jordan Peele would have directed this shit, whoa, he did
No,
something different. It's bullshit.
No. I think it would have taken a step back.
No.
You know.
I
But,
honestly, I gotta agree with that though. I mean, Barry Jenkins, Mufasa. I mean, I haven't seen it, but
Same.
or
It's
even
pretty
then,
good.
the
It's pretty good.
Underground
It is good.
Railroad did take a step back in his career. I haven't seen any episodes, so I can't really say anything about it.
Dude,
but-
I didn't look. Barry Jenkins is almost a bad example because I didn't like If Beale Street Could Talk. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring as shit. I didn't dig it at all.
What I was gonna say is that for best cinematography this year, you have something like Nosferatu, and that one is playing
Where's
into
the C? First of all, where's the C in that title?
Yeah,
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
I'm sorry, I got an accent.
Pterodactyl also? What does he do?
I
Does
think
he
I
fly?
was like, was that me?
Espresso, not espresso.
I also
was
haven't
weird.
seen it yet. I haven't seen Nosferatu.
No, but like
yet.
from what I've seen with the stills and the cinematography and a lot of the breakdowns, that's taking a lot of the old compositions and techniques and modernizing them. But the reason that's being celebrated, I think, more is because it's showing the place for those things, and it's I think it's expanding on the art form better.
I think the only reason you guys feel that way is because this takes place in the time it does.
No,
No, it's not the time. It's just the way that the story is told.
Oh,
'Cause
it's the people.
could this have been told as effectively if it was from a person point of view.
Oh, no,
that's
no,
the
no.
point. That's my
the
point.
Yeah.
I think the story's good enough. It
That's
could.
like the argument you have about animation. Could it only be told in animation?
Oh, you did have that one.
This film is being told in this perspective because it's effective.
yeah, and it could also be told in the regular way and it'd be fine.
It could, exactly, fine. This is better than fine.
Okay.
Because it's fun, Jen.
Because it's fun.
I don't know. I give a lot of.
I love it. I love what it does.
We
and-
always talk about filmmakers.
Is it gonna live on?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the
10
conversation.
years from now,
I think in the
Probably not.
conversation
Not
of.
at all.
Yeah.
Well, again, this is another classic example of a film not getting campaigned enough. Everybody agrees with that. I mean, this film premiered at New York Film Festival, at Telluride Film Festival, was celebrated, but it wasn't campaigned enough for the Oscars.
Okay.
I don't think it got enough attention.
I agree. The fact that it only has 2 nominations, I thought it had
I'll
more.
toss this at you. It may not be celebrated in the traditional sense of, Oscar films from 10 years from now, but I guarantee you'll see it on the top 10 Criterion or movie list.
Just FYI, the BAFTA's only nominated for Best Screenplay Adapted.
Okay.
Didn't win anything at the Critic Choice, and also didn't.
I wouldn't
win-
expect it to. Yeah, yeah.
And didn't win anything at the Golden Globes.
Campaigning again. But I guarantee you that this film will be on lists like Criterion, like Mubi, not in the traditional Oscar sense, but it will be celebrated by filmmakers.
I will give it the credit of saying that I think in the future, when we talk about this style of cinematography and this style of storytelling, this will be your prime example that we use from now on.
Yeah, this is the benchmark, right?
This is going to be the benchmark.
Okay, yeah. But
Because
This is like the rough idea, but this is not the golden plate. You get me?
I hope we never get to the golden plate. That's the point, right?
What do you mean?
Well, going like kind of backtracking on that idea, other examples of that would be kind of like what we were talking about earlier. Like Jodorowsky's Dune had the right idea for the storyboards, only for the golden plate to be Terminator, which effectively executed the robot POV and stuff like that.
Unpopular opinion. People fucking hated Breathless when it came out.
They did. American audiences loved it, but the French kind of saw it as like, what the fuck?
And now it defines the French New Wave.
But
Takes time.
exactly, that's it. It's not a bad film. Don't get
What
me wrong.
if-
It's not a bad film at all, but it's just not for this time yet. But
Oh,
that's why. I guess that's what I'm getting at right now. It's not for this time yet.
But
it's not a bad film. But Oscars are kind of created for the
Yeah,
times.
and that's why I'm saying
There was-
it won't be talked about in the Oscars conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been accepting. I've been saying that, but it will be talked about.
For cinema.
Other filmmakers will be in the Criterion closet saying, "Yo, fucking Nickel Boys," like genuinely. Or what was the other? Yo, Jackie Chan box set.
Jackie Chan,
No, but people
Let me
will be
see this.
talking about it. Directors will be referencing this film. I
yeah,
promise.
absolutely.
Wow, that-
and it's got moments. It's got moments where I think the POV
moments,
does something amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's doing that 100% of the time. I think it's
Well, it is, and
It's
that's
hella
the problem.
influential.
No,
It'll be
okay.
influential.
no, but
It
like
is, and that's the problem.
Like if you look at Conclave, and Eric pointed out this scene when we were watching it. There's a moment when one of the cardinals during that conversation at the stairwell. Even though they're all talking to each other, and again, you're getting coverage. One of the cuts is that he's looking at you and walks towards you, and then his eye line breaks, and then you see him going to somebody else. But for a moment, you're being faced with the questions and everything he's going through,
Yeah.
and it does it so much here. But
Yeah.
I think by breaking it up and giving that POV
if
room
we
to
really
breathe,
want to get into that argument,
Yeah.
Conclave took half of its fucking shit from Silence. It just
oh
did.
man.
Okay.
That's
Even
Scorsese.
aesthetically, look at the color temperatures. Look at the
Okay.
color palettes.
Well,
You should have
you,
brought that
you
up
had
when
a
we were
chance
on
to talk about that during Conclave.
This guy.
Nickel Boys,
No,
not
that's
going to
my
win
point.
anything.
That's
By
my
the way,
point.
that
It's not.
The critics nominated for cinematography. Just saying.
Yeah, well, it's got great cinematography. I mean, I love Nickel Boys. I think it's
just
got the best
think- I'm not
cinematography
saying
of all time.
I'm not even necessarily saying cinematography
It's like
because
you wouldn't nominate My Dinner with Andre, or you would nominate it, but you wouldn't expect it to win.
Like,
Correct.
you
That's what
wouldn't
I feel
download a
with
car.
Nickel Boys.
correct.
That's
but
exactly how I feel with Nickel Boys.
when was My Dinner with Andre released?
Or like I'm talking about like for that year.
No, but
The year
that's
that it
my
came
point.
out.
We're still talking about it.
Yeah.
This film will still be talked
Exactly.
about. It will still be in the conversation cinematically with directors. Cinematographers don't really go because cinematographers want to move forward. They won't really reference past films.
One thing that I will
they
give
want to
this-
be innovative.
yeah,
A
this-
director will go back and say, "I want to choose these films to inform what I'm doing."
Yeah.
A good director would
And
do that.
I will say, if you notice the cinematography, every single shot with the POV, the lighting was actually Like, it looks supernatural, but if you really think about it, those are sources that are coming in from different perspectives, and they were able to treat almost every shot like a wonder.
They actually
So-
shot with almost exclusively natural light
That's crazy.
for this.
That is crazy. I stand corrected.
So the sources is still there, but it's the sun.
Yeah,
You know,
it
like,
is our
something to
Lord
think
and Savior,
about.
the
Something to
sun.
think about. I think in 5-10 years or whatever, people are going to go back. Directors specifically are going to go back and say, "Hey, this was something that was kind of overlooked."
Fair.
I don't know
Nickel
why
Boys.
Anjunu didn't get supporting actress.
I agree. She's good. Well,
She was great. I mean, maybe not enough, but
yeah.